Anyway, just a little looper for everybody today. Happy Valentine's Day. Today is Valentine's Day. Actually, by the time this airs, it might be after Valentine's Day. I don't know. It's pretty cold here. Weather report from Denver metro area. Probably going to be like 10 below zero tonight. Reminds me a lot of my childhood in Saranac Lake, New York. Because this is Mardi Gras week, it's also Winter Carnival week. Little village of Saranac Lake, where I grew up, is the largest little village in the Adirondacks. It used to be when I was growing up there, it was about 7,000, population of about 7,000 people. And I think it's probably down to about 5,000 at this point. But the week-long events of Mardi Gras, or during the week of Mardi Gras in the village of Saranac Lake, they have what's Winter Carnival, it's called. They have a big ice palace, and you Saranac Lakers, I envy you. Well, it's during lockdown, so I don't know what's going on. They probably won't have a parade. A lot of the festivities are probably not what they usually are because of this COVID thing, but one of the things that it reminded me of was this little, I've been whittling again, but there used to be in the newspaper there was a little comic strip that used to appear in the local newspaper there. It was called Mountain Owl, and it was by a guy named Phil Griffin. And he has a site called Bunk's Place. You should check it out. Bunk's Place. And it has a lot of Saranac Lake memorabilia in there over the decades. Probably from, there's a lot of stuff there for the history of the town and everything. But one of the cartoon characters was Mountain Owl. Was this kind of hermit-y looking mountain man. And I whittled him. I don't know if you can see here. This is the little figurine that I whittled based on the cartoon character. Let's see. He has sandals. He usually wears sandals. I don't know if you can see that. Those are sandals. Big long beard, big long white hair, and it was usually in black and white in the paper, and that was the type of comic strip. When I was a kid, I don't know if you can see it there in that camera too. Huh? So let's see if it focuses. I think. Anyway, that was Mountain Owl. And when I was a kid, they had a printing press that was like 2 stories big. I was a paper boy. And my dad worked there in the advertising department at the local newspaper. And it served the Tri-Lake area. It was called the Saranac Lake Daily Enterprise. We used to kid around and during the Winter Carnival, they called it the empty prize because it was pretty much all advertising. But yeah, we really had a good time there delivering newspapers, and I used to sell them on the street corner during the parade, try to make extra money, and let's see what else there. But they had this printing press. And it ended up in the museum down in Albany, New York. It was 2 stories. It was the oldest, at one point it was the oldest typeset type of printing press still operating in the United States as far as I know. And gosh, that thing had big rollers, and they had a guy go in there every day, and he had to typeset the whole newspaper. And he would put the little letters and words into each page, and then they would make an ink, like a stamp thing out of that page, and he would put the little ad slicks, and everything went in there, and they'd roll the ink over it, and then the papers would come down and press on it. And many times when I read the newspaper as a kid, I remember the letters being a little bit crooked in the paper, and things being offset a little bit because of the way it was, typeset type of printing press. And then I think they went to what's called photo offset, where they had computer generated Word or whatever, or was able to print it that way. But funny what you remember from your childhood. But I loved Saranac Lake growing up there. I've been thinking a lot about it lately. The Adirondacks, and I talked about it in my last video a little bit about the bushcrafting thing, and yeah, I've been reading books too. I've read one book on the history. I don't have it here, but in the history of in Colorado, the 285 corridor, going on up over the pass through Jefferson and Fairplay and a bunch of little towns. There was a highway called 285, and what the history of that little roadway was from when Denver was kind of settled in the Old West. And it's very fascinating, and I kind of want to go up there and explore some of those areas. There's little ghost towns off that came and went, little mining towns, a town where they smelted charcoal. I guess they had great big stoves and they actually made charcoal in the ovens and stuff. Anyways, I've been reading this book by Dave Canterbury, who I don't know if you remember, if anybody's seen the Dual Survival series. I think was on TV on one of the National Geographic or History Channel or something. I don't remember, but anyway, Discovery. That's what it was. I think it was called Dual Survival, and this book about Bushcraft 101. It's called, and kind of fascinating things that I remember from my boyhood. And was finished reading that, and you know, one thing that I had the advantage of when it comes to training about survival and getting outdoors and just spending a lot of times in nature and in the woods, was I had the benefits of being in the Boy Scouts. Now, I know that the Boy Scouts is gone and done. God forbid anything that was good for young men. You know, yeah, there was some predators and people that ruined that organization, but that was a good organization. It helped to channel a lot of young men, give them survival skills. Not only that, but the code. Think about the code. These trustworthy, friendly, courteous, kind, reverent, brave, you know, all of these virtues that we tried to learn and were instilled in us, as well as surviving in outdoor type of situations, you know, and skills that you would learn. And a lot of it was bushcraft skills, actually. But the thing that bothers me about it now is those things, they're no longer virtues in our society, it seems like. You know, they're open to interpretation, and people say, oh, that's an archaic thing or whatever. I don't know. But I guess I'm getting old and cranky, I guess. Anyway, oh yeah, and because I'm thinking about this spring, I'm going to try to get out into the woods a little more with my kids and the family, and maybe practice some of those skills that I learned when I was younger. But I put together some leather work I've been working on with my Bushcraft knife, and I think I showed the dangler the last time I made in the leather, but then I made another loop to put a smaller type of knife on the same knife and carry in the sheath, so it's a 2-knife system. Plus there's a whetstone wrapped in the leather in there, and of course an orange paracord lanyard with a cobra type of wrap on there. But my daughter asked me, she says, why do you have an orange, really bright orange lanyard on there with the paracord? Also, that paracord, by the way, can be used as tinder to start a fire. I don't know if people know that. But so it has a striking rod on there, so you can actually build a fire with just that whole kit. Anyway, she was asking me about the orange lanyard, and I said, well, when I was a kid, I lost knives in the woods. You know, we'd be doing something, making steaks or processing some kindling or some firewood, and we'd put the knife down on the ground, and we'd grab the bundle of sticks and drag it over to where we were camping or to the fire thing, and I'd say, oh, I left my knife over there, and go back and try to find it. And or we'd stick it in a tree or something, and it's a lot easier to find when it has that orange dangler on there. So plus you can use it if you want to use it as a sight for some kind of navigation, or to try to find a direction or something. You could stick that knife into a tree to find a direction that you're trying to do, and sight it, put a line of sight or whatever with a compass or whatever. You know, there's all kinds of different things you can use it for. Anyway, well, yeah, enough about that. I was just put together a little loop and a little music here this week. Not a whole, it's really cold out. It's like going to be 11 below tonight, I think, or 12 below, or maybe even colder. And so I haven't been doing a lot of inspection this weekend. I did have a couple of painting jobs, interior painting jobs during the week, and I've just been kind of, you know, doing little chores around the house and trying to get things ready, and you know, a little maintenance. Oh, taxes, yeah, lots of paperwork for taxes. I'm trying to get that all wrapped up. I hope you all are well. That little riff I was playing is just a little chord progression in the key of D and D major, and I was just kind of improvising over the top. I'm using my Roland GR30, so a lot can be done with it. It's a lot of fun. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. As soon as the weather's good, I want to get outside and do making some videos. I got to shoot some B-roll and some stuff for a song that I've written. I don't know, we'll see. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to my channel. It keeps growing a little bit every week. I'm not setting the world on fire yet. Don't anticipate that happening, really. But I really enjoy doing some of this stuff, getting some comments. Appreciate you all. Hit the subscribe button if you can, and check out some of the older videos if you haven't already. I'll see you next time. Jay out.